Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. My name is Gordy, and because it's Food Week, I was just wondering, how did a simple eating utensil get labeled effeminate, foreign, and satanic? Though I do oddly see what they mean. Give me 5 minutes. I bet you can work this into a conversation today, but first, like and subscribe if you haven't so you can keep up. I do this every single day. We take a lot of modern utensils for granted. Forks, for example, the topic of this Food Week episode, you probably used one today without imagining that it would make everyone hate you for it in the 11th century. The ancient Greeks had fork-like tools, but they were mostly used for cooking or serving, not for personal eating. Same with the Romans. For most of history, people ate with knives, spoons, and their hands, and no one thought that they had this culinary utensil void in their lives. The first real normalized table forks show up in the Byzantine Empire around the 7th to 9th centuries, and then things get a little spicy. In the 11th century, a Byzantine noblewoman named Maria Agrippina married into Italian nobility and brought her strange little metal eating prongs with her, and that did not go well. Italian clergy were horrified. One Venetian wrote that using a fork was excessive delicacy and accused her of insulting God. After all, God gave us these fingers. What, you're too good to use your fingers? When she died of the plague a few years later, some considered it divine punishment for her unholy utensil habit. The fork was just too decadent for the Middle Ages. And like I said, to some it was more than just snobbery, it was a moral threat. Forks were a rejection of God's design. Using cold metal when God gave us fingers, and with their two sharp tines back at the time, they even resembled the devil's pitchfork a little bit. Bonus fact, the image of the devil wielding a pitchfork likely emerged from a blend of pagan mythology, borrowing the trident of sea and underworld gods like Poseidon and Hades. And the rural reality of the pitchfork as a common farming tool, they combined all that and said that is the instrument for tormenting the damned. Let's give Satan one of those. And for the next few centuries, forks lingered in Italy and the Middle East, but most of Europe held out. Even in the 1600s, they were seen as effeminate or foreign, not masculine like a knife or curvy and sexy like a spoon. Then comes Thomas Coryat, an English traveler and writer. He was essentially an early travel writer, actually. And he wrote about his visit to Italy where he saw people using forks. He even brought one home. His countrymen responded by mocking him relentlessly, calling him furcifer. And that's Latin for fork bearer or rascal, maybe. And a side fun fact, Thomas Coryat, his description for how the Italians shielded themselves from the sun resulted in the word umbrella being introduced into English. Umbrella, little shade. But it wasn't until the 18th century that forks really took off. Etiquette shifted, hygiene concerns increased, and forks went from suspicious to fashionable. Designs evolved too. Early forks, as I said, had 2 tines, good for spearing, then 3 to hold food better. By the late 1700s, they put the 4 into fork with the 4-tine fork. And that made it possible to scoop and cut more easily, and the fork was no longer just a dainty novelty, it was a practical tool. By the Victorian era, forks had won. Upper-class dining tables sprouted oyster forks, dessert forks, salad forks, fish forks, cold meat forks, tuning forks. Not tuning forks, but you get what I'm saying. So there you have it. The fork is not just a piece of metal, it's a centuries-old scandal, really. One that was considered foreign, effeminate, and vaguely satanic. These are a few of my favorite things. Go check out my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Leave me a comment, rate, like, subscribe. Yeah, let me know if you use forks. I don't know what just leave me a comment. Say what up. Go check out the short version I do of all of these at Smartest Year Ever, everywhere on social media. You can find me there. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. I'll see you tomorrow for more Food Week in the Smartest Year Ever.